Hi there, welcome to Cambridge Checkpoint Grade 7 Learning Series of Mathematics. So, this is your math course book of Stage 7. It is written by Greg Brett, Len Brett, and Chris Pierce. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the names incorrectly. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. So, the Cambridge Checkpoint math curriculum is divided into 6 parts: numbers, algebra, measurement, data handling, geometry, and problem solving. So, our unit 1 is integers, and our subtopic is negative numbers. So, we are going to understand what integers are, and we are going to know what are negative numbers in this video. For reference, you can read your page number 7 of your course book. So, have you ever noticed that the thermometer has numbers below 0? So, what are these numbers? And what are these numbers for? Well, these numbers are negative numbers. And negative numbers are used to indicate numbers below 0. We are going to go deep in negative numbers. So, we can say that negative numbers are a mirror image of positive numbers. Positive numbers are just normal numbers you have just studied till now. So don't get confused that you don't do positive numbers. So 0 is a special number between positive numbers and negative numbers. As you have seen, I have not put them in a color coded section. That means this number 0 is a special number. And what does it do? Of course, it separates positive numbers and negative numbers. Negative numbers are just like a mirror image of whole numbers, just like I said earlier, except they have a little minus sign. If you want, you can put a positive or plus sign on the positive numbers. But if you don't want to, it's okay. Numbers without a minus sign or a plus sign can be indicated as positive numbers. So, as I said earlier, negative numbers are numbers that are smaller than 0. I am going to tell you how they are going to be smaller than 0. So, first, let me tell you what integers are. Now, integer is a very simple thing: 0, negative numbers, and positive numbers. Together, all of these numbers, we call them with a special name, so that we don't have to just say 0, positive numbers, and negative numbers are numbers that do this, that, or that. So we call them by a common name, integers. Does 0 really mean nothing? Well, let's take an example of measuring how many meters above sea level these islands are. This is our sea. This is island number 1, island number 2, island number 3, island number 4. So, island number 1 is 4 meters above sea level. Island number 2 is 2 meters above sea level. While island number 3 is 0 meters above sea level. But what about island number 4? It's below the sea. Fortunately, with negative numbers, I can measure how many meters above the sea level is. It is not going to be above the sea level, but negative numbers are smaller than positive numbers, remember? So, here's our negative number scale, and it is 2 meters down or negative 2 meters above sea level. Now, if someone will see that, okay, island number 4 is negative 2 meters or down 2 meters above sea level, so he'll come to know that it's 2 meters below the sea level. You see? Now, As our question, does 0 really mean nothing? Well, yes, 0 does mean nothing. But then how are negative numbers smaller than 0? Yes, now I'm going to explain it in easy words. Negative numbers are smaller than 0 as 0 is more positive. As with the island you can see it's more up and the negative numbers are more down. That's why we can say that 0 is bigger than negative numbers. Now comparing negative numbers. Let me give you a question. Is 700 bigger or 200? Well, it's very easy for you to say. You'll say, yes, it's 700, of course. But what if I'll give you this question? Is negative 700 bigger or negative 200? So, it's very tempting to say, yes, it's negative 700. Or maybe someone who hasn't studied negative numbers yet, he'll say it's negative 700, of course. But he's wrong. It's negative 200. Now, you have a question of how. It's making you angry. How is it possible? So, I'm going to explain that as well. As we all know, that when we move right on the number line, the number gets bigger, and when we move left, the numbers get smaller. The exact same rules apply to the negative numbers. Now, if you didn't understand how is 0 bigger than negative numbers, I will explain it over here using this diagram. So, the question was, how is negative 200 bigger than negative 700? The more the number is on the right side of the number line, the number is bigger in value. And the more it is on the left side of the number line, the smaller the value. Now, as we all know that negative 200 is on the right side, more on the right of the number line. So, it is bigger than negative 700, which is more on the left of the number line. Now 0, as we can see that 0 is also more on the right to the number line. So that's why they are considered, not they, 0 is considered to be bigger than negative numbers. Summarize. Negative numbers are numbers smaller than 0. Negative numbers, positive numbers and 0 are called by a common name integers. A bigger positive number is a smaller negative number. What do you mean by less than 0 or smaller than 0? This video is going to be about adding and subtracting negative numbers, which is our subtopic 1.2. So, see you in that video.